Hello and welcome everyone. Today in this video I am going to tell you about a new tool that I discovered which is called MagicaVoxel. This tool is very much helpful for making voxel art, which is kind of low poly 3D art. So let's explore this tool together. Let's get started. In the starting we are greeted with this giant cube. But this cube is actually our workspace. So if I use this erase tool, you can see I can erase the edges and these faces. And if I drag it down like this, I can erase a complete portion of this cube. So this can be used to make your own shapes, sizes inside a particular area. I can actually modify this workspace also. And here you can see I'm attaching and I'm trying to, from the palette, changing some colors and trying to create something over the layers. So for example, here I'm pressing this tool. There are two tools, one for face, one for edge. And with erase, again, I'm bringing this face down. So here you can see it's something like a bench, but the colors are not correct. Again, you can see there are multiple palettes here, 1, 2, 3, 4. You can use your custom palette in the 5th number, but currently I'll work with the first one only. Now on the right side, we can see here are some example models. Let's click on one of them. For example, 3 by 3 by 3. It's a very small cube. We have a bigger empty cube. What else do we have? So this is a castle. I think this is a good example to show some of the tools which are available here. So let's use the erase. So I can erase a portion as I already showed, and I can attach some new shapes here. But the fun part is we can use the paint tool and paint certain colors directly. So for example, if I was doing this in Blender, I had to create like multiple materials. I had to do UV editing and other things. But here it is much more simpler. So let's look at my favorite example of this character. Actually, I've modified it a little bit. So this is a low poly character. This is the best part. MagicaVoxel is best for creating low poly characters. So in this character here, we can see if I go to render scene, I can easily, whatever character I've created, I can render. Here are the samples at the top. So I'd like to show you a few things that are possible with MagicaVoxel. So this rendering technique very much looks like the cycles of the Blender. Different from Eevee. So in cycles, usually there are samples which take place over a period of time and then the render is generated. So here are the tools to change the lighting. For example, the sun angle and everything, intensity, which you can modify. So I'd like to show you something cool in this. For example, in the blade of the character, or let's create something here which actually glows. So it is possible to create a glowing material. It is possible to create glass. It is possible to create metals. I'll try to create glass also in this. So let's make the environment dark because I want to create something that glows. So let's look at one of the colors, use one of the colors and draw something on the floor. So I'm just drawing a small something like a cube here, so I can extrude it upwards. So select the attach tool, make it like this. So for example, a low poly flag post. Let's use a different color and attach something from the left face of it. Which color shall I use? Let's use this color. I think this looks good enough. Not the complete face. Change the tool to single small cube. And here, let's keep on clicking on the face and you can see something like a flag, a low poly flag. You can create something like this. Now, keep on selecting the color. Don't deselect the color or lose the color in the palette. What we have to do is go to the render section and right side you can see the material properties. I'm going into the emit and increasing the power of this emission. Can you see what's happening? So the surrounding lights have actually dimmed, but only this particular material and the flag is glowing. So this creates a very cool effect which can be used in these renders. So it is unlike Blender's emission where you have to create a material. Here you can directly do it on a color from the palette, which I found very much fascinating and useful in certain situations. And I'll be using it in the future projects as well. So this is one of the examples. Let's create glass material also, which we saw on the right side. So again, let's create some sort of wall, which is transparent. So let's make a base of it and choose one of the colors. Let's use a light color and attach some more faces. So I'll make this color transparent. So go to render. On the right side, you can see the glass option is there. So let's make it a little bit bright. So we can see in the, for example, daylight, how the transparency is. So make it completely transparent and can you see? The character is visible behind the glass. So there is the IOR option, the refraction which you can change, or like how much blurry you want it to be. like a real glass, like a fog glow you want, all these things can be added to it. And again, you can make it completely transparent, but it won't be visible. So I'm very much impressed by the ability of this tool, which is very good. And it looks very much good for the environment. For low poly, it is like extremely good. So let's decrease the roughness. I think this one looks good. I can render out a small, this model also. And I will also try to do like export this model and like take it to Blender later on. So now we can see in a darker environment, the glow and the glass, we can see the character behind it. So the renders are also good quality renders. It's not like a tool which you can ignore. So it's a very good thing. And on the right side, you can see save and all the options are there. In the bottom, you can click on the export to create something to export. Now let's remove this glowing thing from the right side. I would like to show you one more important thing, that is the HDRI. You can modify the environments totally. So HDRI, I've used the HDRIs in Blender. So here is an example of HDRI which you can modify. So HDRIs basically are the images which give very much realistic light settings from the environment to the character. So here I'm not using sun or any other thing. I'm just using an image to light up my character. So in a game or in a 3D setting where you are making a scene, this is very much useful. So in the HDRI, you can see the character looks, it pops out more from the background and the render is much more good. So on the top side, you can see whenever I change a scene a little bit, the rendering happens again and again. Finally, we have the scene ready and I will try to export this out and add it to Blender, and I will directly show you the final output. In a future video, I will do side-by-side comparison with Blender, which is good for voxel or low poly. It will be an exciting video which will come after this one. So for now, let's look at the final output of this inside Blender. So this is my character. I exported it in the OBJ format and this is how it looks like finally. I hope you enjoyed the video. This tool is freely available. You can download it. I'll add the link in the bottom of the video. Try it, give it a try. It's very easy to use and I think you'll love it. I'll see you next time in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.